There was a bit of rain earlier, but that's passed through, and it's a lovely evening now. Just on Emma Hayes' legacy at Chelsea, Sam, she's won 6 WSL titles, 5 FA Cups, 2 Conti Cups. That is a winning legacy that will endure regardless of what happens at the end of this season. And Chelsea have got a huge job finding her replacement. Those are big boots to fill, right?
It really is. Emma Hayes has been so pivotal for Chelsea, and it's not just what she's been able to get the players to do on the pitch, but it's also what she's been able to facilitate off the pitch. She's raised the standards in every aspect you can think of, the medical care, everything that goes behind the scenes, the staff. She's built a whole empire around her to be able to get Chelsea to win the amount that they have won, and it's been tremendous to see the legacy she's left. Unfortunately, it does feel that if she doesn't win anything, and she almost be ashamed to go out winning nothing in her final season, but undeniably we can't forget everything she's done in her whole tenure at this club.
And of course she is moving on to arguably the biggest job in women's football as head coach of the US women's national team. Extraordinary progress and extraordinary opportunity for Emma Hayes. Let's pivot over to the starting lineups as the players just finish their photographs and their huddles on the pitch. Emma Hayes actually making 6 changes from the side that started up on Merseyside on Wednesday. So really ringing out the alterations to the team. Zakira Musovic starts in goal with a back 4 of Ev Perisset, Millie Bright, Natalie Bjorn and Niamh Charles. Midfield 3 of Sophie Ingle, Sjoeke Nusken and Erin Cuthbert. And front 3 on the left is Wrighton, Maika Hamano, the young Japanese player, and the young striker Aggie Beaver-Jones, who scored 2 against Liverpool in that 4-3 loss, and what a breakout season she is having. Bristol City making 4 changes to the side that lost 4-0 at home to Manchester City. So Fran Bentley comes in, replacing Shay Yanez in goal. Ella Powell, Scylla Struck, Megan Connolly and Jasmine Bull are the back 4, with Rogers, Jones and Syme in midfield, and Fionn Morgan, Jamie Lee Napier and Amelie Testrup their front 3. So we are almost ready for the kick-off here at Kings Meadow. Emma Hayes' final game in front of these home fans. Fran Kirby and Maren Mjelde, who are the departing players we mentioned earlier, both named on the bench, and we do expect them to get some minutes, even if it's just right towards the end of the game, to say their goodbye on the field to the Chelsea fans. The lineup's just being announced again by the stadium announcer. Referee and assistant referees in position. Sophie Ingle standing over the ball in the centre circle, ready to kick us off. And Sam Miller, are those first 10 minutes going to be really crucial for Bristol City to try and perhaps weather an early storm from Chelsea, you say?
I think Chelsea will be fired up to get as many early goals as possible. They know how vital that goal difference could be, that we've mentioned so much already, but it really is. And I think Bristol City might try and sit back a bit and try and hold Chelsea off, but I think that would be really difficult with Chelsea's attacking threats, and I think we're really going to see Chelsea fired up today.
So the players just taking a knee in the ongoing campaign against racism and discrimination in football. So Sophie Ingle ready to kick us off here at Kings Meadow for the final time this season, and the final time for Emma Hayes and for a couple of these Chelsea legends that we've mentioned, Maren Mjelde and Fran Kirby. And immediately Chelsea winner throwing down the left hand side, taken quickly by Niamh Charles, and Beaver-Jones is immediately putting Emily Syme under pressure. It's back with Niamh Charles now in the left wing position, playing as a very attacking full-back. Niamh Charles down this left-hand side, now on centre of the defensive third with Millie Bright, who's wearing the captain's armband for Chelsea this evening. And I always look forward to these May and late April commentaries, because the pitches are still lit by daylight and not floodlights. The light hasn't faded. You're not in the kind of depths of winter where it gets dark at about 5 o'clock. Lovely evening here in West London as Chelsea winner throwing this time 15 yards into the Bristol City half on the right hand side.
We've already seen a bright start from Chelsea. And talking of Bright, Millie Bright back, and she's such an important figure in this team. We can see that she gets balls forward. She's really good at spraying that diagonal ball. and really catching out defences. And Chelsea have a chance now.
Hamano just did well to keep it in after Bristol City had tried to shepherd a long ball forward to go out of play for a goal kick, but Hamano worked really hard to stop that from going out of play. Here is Hamano now crossing in, and it's way beyond Beaver Jones, straight into the arms of Fran Bentley for Bristol City, who perhaps a surprise start for Fran Bentley. Shea Yanez, who they signed earlier in the season, has been the preferred option at goalkeeper, but I'm guessing that with relegation confirmed, there isn't as much to lose here for Bristol City in terms of league position, so they will play young players. Here's Hamano once more, down the right hand side. Ritin Canary plays into Hamano, and it's just wide of the left hand post.
You can see Chelsea really searching for that early goal. They've been on top so far in the early stages of this first half here at Kings Meadow, and Chelsea are playing with a real intensity to their game, and we saw that Emma Hayes made a lot of changes, and I think she was just trying to bring on fresh legs after such big games, Champions League nights.
Yep, 6 changes to the starting lineup from the team that played at Prenton Park against Liverpool, but still plenty of depth and quality on the bench. And on Bristol City's bench, it must be said, there is a distinct lack of experience. They've got a couple of very young players on their bench, Bristol City. Here is another throw taken quickly by Niamh Charles, trying to find Beaver Jones running in behind. And here are Chelsea back on the ball with Sophie Ingle, still in the Bristol City half. And Millie Bright now carrying the ball forward, central position. Out to Eve Perisset, the French international fullback, and here's Hamano running down the right wing, takes on a defender, does well. Hamano, she won a foul there, referee nothing doing, so we'll play on with Jamie Lee Napier. And Bristol City courageously trying to play out from the back, but it's backfired on them, and Cuthbert puts it across the 6-yard box, and it was behind every Chelsea player in there, and Bristol City can clear, intercepted by Ingle though, and Chelsea have got Bristol City under the cosh straight away in this first half as Erin Cuthbert tries to win it back again. No, she's given it away. Here are Bristol City trying on the counter-attack, but immediately give it away to the feet of Niamh Charles, and the quality there was just lacking for Bristol City, Sam.
It is, but Chelsea, they're so quick to win the ball back and retain that possession. And I have to say, Erin Cuthbert's been brilliant. The way she links up the play, she's so forward-thinking, and I think she's had an excellent season. She's been captain often in this side this season with the absence of Millie Bright. She's got those leadership skills as well, and I think Erin Cuthbert, she's got such an engine on her, and is just trying to drive this team forward. But disappointing from Bristol City there to give the ball away so easily.
Here are Chelsea, 0-0 the score after just about 4 minutes. Here as Bristol City win a free kick in their own defensive third from Micah Hamano. That was a throw-in actually, taken quickly by Ella Powell. Chelsea immediately win it back. Here's Nuskin up to Beaver Jones, back to Wrighton, on to Niamh Charles running the overlap. Niamh Charles taken down in the penalty area, and the referee blows her whistle. Penalty to Chelsea after just 4 minutes. This is turning into the perfect start for Emma Hayes' side as they look to close that gap, not just on points, Sam, but on goal difference, with a deficit of 7. And you might just think a few goals could be in this one for Chelsea this evening against bottom of the league, already relegated Bristol City. And it's Guro Wrighton about to step up and take it. And Fran Bentley just confirming with the referee that the ball has been placed correctly on the spot. The referee beckoning Fran Bentley back to her goal line, now running out of the way. So Bentley coming into the starting lineup. Must save, Chelsea must win, or else the title is back in Man City's hands. Guro Wrighton stands back, breathes, steps, fires, scores! Chelsea 1, Bristol City 0, and Guro Wrighton picks up her 6th goal of the season, the Norwegian international. She's fired up here, egging the crowd on as Chelsea take an early lead. Chelsea 1, Bristol City 0.
Guro Wrighton so calm from the spot. We know she's a set-piece specialist, free kicks, penalties, and she's slotted it right into the corner. Fran Bentley had absolutely no chance of saving that one, and it's an early important goal for Chelsea. I think the momentum will stick with them now.
Bristol City with a nightmare start to this game, but Chelsea having what could turn out to be the perfect day, with City losing to Arsenal. Ironic, of course, that Chelsea's biggest rivals over in North London have opened the door for them to possibly get back into this WSL title race and force a final day thriller where it could come down to goal difference. And of course, with Manchester City having lost their top goal scorer, Bunny Shaw, who I'm sure they missed against Arsenal earlier, it might just be advantage Chelsea if they can pile on the goals here this evening. As Gura Reiten makes the run forward down the left-hand side, the pass from Millie Bright was just over her, throwing Bristol City inside their own defensive third.
Bunny Shaw, a massive miss for City with the amount of goals she scored for them this season, but we don't often talk about the players that have been out injured for Chelsea. Sam Kerr out injured, she was such a prolific goal scorer for them, and then they've brought in Ramirez, who's fantastic to watch and a great signing. She's out injured at the moment. Lauren James also. I think Chelsea have so much depth and quality to them that they can replace these players, but I think they have been a huge miss, and it's really had an impact on their season, evidently.
We all know Sam Kerr, how good she is. And of course, Ramirez, as you mentioned, didn't look bad. And she came in the January transfer window. Chelsea won, Bristol City 0, 7.5 minutes gone. Bristol City can't seem to get out of their own half. And Eve Perisset going back to Natalie Bjorn. And Chelsea come on the attack once again down the left-hand side. Niamh Charles just has to turn away from the pressure of Fionn Morgan and into Sophie Ingle. Such an experienced player, Sophie Ingle. Chips it up to Reiten on the left-hand side. 1-2 with Nusken. Reiten's cross into Beaver Jones. It's cut out by a Bristol City player. Superb intervention there. Much needed for the Robins. And now they'll come forward on the counter-attack. And it's Jamie Lee Napier making the run forward. But Perisset does brilliantly to intercept that pass. And Jamie Lee Napier, the Scottish international, thought she was in behind there. And Perisset wasn't having any of it.
I think Perisset's been a really great addition to this Chelsea side, and what I really admire about Emma Hayes is she brings in these players and seems to bring out the best of them, and we see their game go up a level, and seeing that with Perisset, I think she's been excellent every time she's come onto the pitch, whether she started or come on as a substitute, but she's really impressed me.
Another one I think is Sjoeke Nusken, 23-year-old German. She wears the number 6, but she's very much an attacking midfielder. As Chelsea play it forward again, Beaver Jones across the face of goal. Could she keep it out for a goal kick? I was offside. Offside flag has gone up, and so it will be a Bristol City free kick. But yeah, Nusken, new signing last summer, wears the number 6, signed from Eintracht Frankfurt, who are not one of the really big German teams. Obviously Bayern and Wolfsburg are the two big German women's teams. But she scored 10 goals in all competitions this season, Nusken, in that Chelsea shirt, and made herself undroppable at times.
What's been most impressive is her versatility. She's played in so many different positions. She's played the number 10, the number 6. She can almost play anywhere.
Here come Bristol City now, down the left-hand side. It's with Napier. She's got space to run into as Millie Bright comes across the cover. Here's Napier, playing it forward, and it's in, and it's a save by Musovic, who claws it out of her own goal, and Bristol City nearly got the equaliser there, Sam.
Well, that was a chance that almost came out of nowhere. It's been all Chelsea attacking, but then Bristol City have just shown a glimpse of what they're capable of. That was so close to being a goal. I thought it almost went in for a second there. Chelsea really have to be alert. They've attacked so much in this game, which could give Bristol City the chance to counter-attack at times, and they do seem quick on the counter.
Well, they did well there, Bristol City, but Musovic with some quick thinking on her own goal line. It looked like she had to sort of claw it out of her own net before it went over the line, as it sort of bounced up off her leg, I think, which she'd used to make an initial save. And Bristol City showing that they do carry some threat, especially down that left flank, the far side, as we look at it in our commentary position, as Chelsea attack the goal to our left. Bristol attacking left to right, and it goes forward now for Chelsea to Hamano. Bristol City header can only play it into the path of Hamano, but the defender does well to recover. Chelsea with the first corner of the game, 1-0.
Well, I think that Bristol City chance will give them a glimmer of hope in this game, because that could have been a real game changer if that went in. And I have to say, I think Bristol City, they can almost play with no fear that they've already been relegated, unfortunately, and I think this is just more of a game for pride more than anything. But Chelsea need to stay alert. They know they just need to get goals in this game. See if they can get another one now. Reiten
plays the corner into Nusken, and it's just headed wide. She found the head of Sjoeke Nusken there. She couldn't find the target, so it will be a goal kick to Bristol City, taken by Fran Bentley. We're just seeing the replay of that Bristol City chance. It was Carrie Jones, who wears the number 23 shirt, He got in behind. Jamie Lee Napier played her in, and Musovic made a great initial save, and then a wonderful last second swipe of the arm to clear it off the goal line to keep Chelsea in their 1-0 lead. Here's Sophie Ingle in that defensive midfield position just in front of the back four, still in their own half, the home side. Here's Bright back up to Ingle in the centre circle, and now left it goes to Niamh Charles, who likes to get forward from full back. She can play as a winger as well. Ingle up to Wrighton, and Wrighton trying to play in Niamh Charles, but a pass was a little bit ambitious and Bristol City are able to clear. We'll give away a throw-in straight back to Chelsea just beneath our commentary position, and Sophie Ingle with her hair tied up in a blonde bun comes across to take it, just tosses it over to Niamh Charles, and play will get going again. Ingle back up to Niamh Charles. Beaver Jones just trying to win the ball back, but Fionn Morgan comes away with it for Bristol City. Her pass intercepted by Erin Cuthbert, who's done brilliantly, and Erin Cuthbert just gets a flick-on pass from Gura Wrighton. Here's Wrighton again in the penalty area into Beaver Jones, but intercepted by Syme for Bristol City, and they're packing the penalty area with bodies, the Robins, as they have to, because Chelsea are going to keep pumping it straight back down their throat.
Well, Chelsea are leaving a couple of defenders back and then getting everyone else.
Wrighton crosses it into Hermano, and it's just headed behind by Bristol City. Jamie Lee Napier coming across, and she's given away a throw. Sorry, Sam.
I was just saying how many players Chelsea are getting forward. They're leaving like Vaughan and Bright back to secure in case Bristol City do manage to counter-attack, but they're getting so many bodies forward to just keep attacking the box and putting in crosses. And I think that's when they do miss a player like Sam Kerr, who will really attack those crosses in the box.
And I've seen Sam Kerr and Lauren James on the Chelsea injury list, sat over to our right hand side. Here's Beaver Jones, played in behind. Beaver Jones crosses from right hand side into Nusken. She was clearly the target. Here's Cuthbert, deflected in the penalty area, and Connolly will clear, and there was an offside from a Chelsea player there from that shot from range from Erin Cuthbert. Bristol City free kick, still Chelsea lead by 1-0.
Chelsea have created so many early chances in this game. They look hungry for it, and you can see that they almost look revitalised. I think that Arsenal win against Manchester City has really pushed them forward and given them that energy they need to go into this game. You can see potentially what a difference it's made.
The title race is back on as Millie Bright deals with a long ball forward from Bristol City. A reminder of where the league table sits. So Manchester City have played 21 out of their 22, 52 points, and a goal difference of plus 45. Chelsea played 19. This is one of their 2 games in hand. They're on 46 points, so 6 points behind, and a goal difference of plus 39 with their 1-goal lead found through Gura Wrighton's penalty in the 5th minute of this match. So City still with the advantage on goal difference thus far, but Chelsea will fancy a few more here against already relegated bottom of the table Bristol City. They do have to go to Spurs next Wednesday and then to Manchester United. 2 away games to finish the season for Emma Hayes' side, but they will believe that they can force that final day nail-biter, where it might just be that both sides have to go all-out attack to score as many goals as possible, and Chelsea might just back themselves to win that contest, depending of course on who's healthy, who's injured. But Man City without Bunny Shaw don't look to have as many goals in them as they did when she was fit. Here are Bristol City with a free kick down the left-hand side to be taken, and the ball comes in now and is up towards a Bristol City player, out to the edge of the penalty area, and Carrie Jones slices the volley all the way over the bar to be gathered by Zakira Musovic.
Carrie Jones, a very exciting young talent, one to keep an eye on. I think she'll be so disappointed that Bristol City aren't going to be in the WSL next season. I think Carrie Jones is really finding her feet in the WSL. But right now Chelsea are on top, and you can see they are looking for more goals. They keep going forward as they've done now.
Here's Hermano, played in by Beaver Jones. Hermano's crosses over the head of Sirka Nusken. It's going to be kept in by Gura Wrighton, who'd made that run forward. Plays in Niamh Charles, lovely run by Niamh Charles. Here's Nusken, oh, it's lovely interception there from Silla Struck, the Bristol City defender, chipped out to the right-hand side though for Chelsea, over to Hamano, and the pitch now beautifully sun-soaked as the clouds have parted here in West London. And this is why I love these May match days, because you can get just glorious weather, but it's not too hot, of course. It's just the right temperature for a game of football, although I'm sure by the end of 90 minutes perhaps the players might be feeling it, although it might get a bit darker and cool down a little bit as we get past 8 o'clock and towards full time. Here's Millie Bright into Hamano, wearing the number 23 shirt for Chelsea, tries to play in Ev Perisset down the right hand side, does well the Bristol City defender. Rogers plays it back to Ella Powell, who just has to do the sensible thing and get rid of it, but Chelsea will have an attacking throw.
Not long ago, Sophie Ingle got the ball outside the area and the fans were shouting shoot, because Sophie Ingle during her time at Chelsea has scored a lot of goals outside the area. She's got an absolute strike on her.
Here comes Beaver Jones, does a step over. Beaver Jones! Oh, it's just wide of Fran Bentley's right hand upright. That was a lovely half yard of space she created. Little step over, got the right side of Megan Connolly, and she just couldn't curl it in to that far corner.
Beaver Jones was
Chelsea lead by 1-0.
Sorry, Beaver Jones was absolutely fantastic against Liverpool on the score sheet. Emma Hayes gave her a lot of praise, definitely one for the future, and you can see that what a difference it's made. She went out on loan to Everton, she's come back like a new player. She's really high on confidence.
And of course, perhaps works in her favour, the injuries that Chelsea have, because Emma Hayes has been forced to rely on her. Gura Wrighton does well to play in Hamano, and it's again across the 6-yard box, and Bristol City will have another goal kick, because Chelsea keep on coming. It's wave after wave of Chelsea attacks here, Sam.
It really is, and I think Chelsea need to be a bit more clinical. They've had chances, a couple have gone wide, just need to find that precision in the box.
They have 72% of the possession. We're seeing on our live stats to Chelsea. So a remarkably dominant display so far. The home side in their royal blue shirts, white socks. As the fans in fine voice here, as we expected for this momentous occasion. It feels almost a privilege to be here, special to witness the end of an era, as Emma Hayes bows out of this Chelsea job. Of course, she does have 2 games to go, but both of them away from home. So this her last match at Kingsmeadow. How she would love to say farewell with a big win. Here's Hamano down the right hand side once more for Chelsea, and Cuthbert winning a corner from Jamie Lee Napier, and Chelsea wasting no time, sending Gura Wrighton over to that far side, the right wing, where Wrighton will try and whip it in with her left foot. Such a dangerous player, Gura Wrighton. A brilliant season last campaign. She had something like 17 assists or something last season. Not quite produced those numbers again, but she can be relied on in big games. Here is Wrighton, puts it up towards Bright, but it's headed out by Bristol City, and Fionn Morgan can only put it high into the air. Scylla Strook now gets it clear, but it's won back by Ingle, deflected messily off a Bristol City player, and Erin Cuthbert is tussling with Fionn Morgan. She just gets to the ball first, and it will be a throw into Bristol City.
Great challenge there from Cuthbert, really getting stuck in.
And the Chelsea fans know that nothing less than 100% effort is acceptable for Emma Hayes. Those are the standards that she has set, and on this, her last game at home, they don't want to let her down, as Jasmine Bull takes the throw, and it comes off a Chelsea player for a second throw in quick succession for Bristol City. And I was at Ashton Gate last Sunday as they succumbed to Manchester City, 4-0 in the end to the Sky Blues, and visiting, adding handily to their goal difference and keep the pressure on Chelsea. But of course the door has been opened after Arsenal came away from Manchester 2-1 winners. 2 late goals from Stina Blackstenius, the substitute, who always seems to turn up in the right place at the right time for the Gunners. Comes up with big goals, as she did in the Conti Cup final against Chelsea. But she has opened the door for Emma Hayes' side to make this a title race that could go down to the wire. Here are Chelsea coming forward again, and Ev Perisset, central position, fires it out to this left-hand side just beneath us. Niamh Charles playing in, Gura Wrighton. Wrighton on the left foot, just facing away from goal. Lovely chip in, and it's just across the face of goal. Great save, Sam. Fran Bentley. and it was Beaver Jones up for the header, couldn't get clean contact on it. Fran Bentley dived to her left, made the save. Still Chelsea lead by 1-0.
Wonderful play there from Gura Wrighton. That's exactly what she's best at, putting crosses into the box. Unfortunately, Beaver Jones couldn't make the most of it, but it's dangerous play there from Chelsea. They're really knocking on the door, but I think we're seeing Gura Wrighton glimpses of what she was like last season, putting crosses into the box where she was getting so many assists, as you alluded to earlier. You can see that Chelsea are pressing forward. They're trying to put Bristol City under pressure when they do get the ball.
And the header after Fran Bentley's clearance was won there by Niamh Charles, and Gura Wrighton's on the ball again. She's having a big influence on this game, Gura Wrighton. Here she is down the left wing, cuts onto her right foot and chips it across the penalty area, and Megan Connolly just did enough. And as the ball goes out of play, we've been talking a lot about that City versus Arsenal result. We should run you through the rest of the results in the WSL this weekend. There were 2 games yesterday. The first one finished Everton 2, Tottenham Hotspur 2, and then Brighton losing another game at home down in Crawley. Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. Those were the Saturday kickoffs. And then earlier today, Liverpool beat Manchester United 1-0, West Ham 1, Leicester 1, and then of course Arsenal beating City. Here it comes into the corner. Beaver Jones, great save Bentley, and it's tapped in by Nusken. And it was very scrappy, but the title race looks as if it's well and truly back on. Chelsea double their advantage. Fran Bentley couldn't keep it out for long enough. She couldn't get a grip on that ball, and Sjoeke Nusken was lurking. She was in the right place at the right time. And it's Chelsea 2, Bristol City 0.
Nusken adding to her goal tally this season. She's been excellent, and she finds herself in the right positions. We've seen that time after time this season in a Chelsea shirt. She adapted so well to this team, and Chelsea putting the balls in the right areas, and they've just doubled their advantage.
So halfway through this first 45 minutes, and Bristol City, their form continues to be poor in the WSL. They have lost an alarming number of games in a row. In fact, they haven't even scored in their last 5 games, Bristol City, as Chelsea just doing the hard work to win it back once again in the attacking third. Here's Beaver Jones running into the penalty area. Back to Hermano. Hermano shoots, and it's deflected, and it's put out for, I think, a throw-in by Jasmine Bull. Gura Wrighton rushing over. It could be a corner here. I couldn't quite see which side of the corner flag the ball went out on. No, it is a throw. So rather than Wrighton, it will be Niamh Charles to try and get it as close to that 6-yard box as possible. Just taking her time here, Niamh Charles. Chelsea still with the clock on their side as they look to get as many goals as possible. If they can put 7 past Bristol City this evening, they will completely nullify Man City's goal difference advantage. That's what's at stake here, and you think that's not outside the realms of possibility, Sam?
Well, they've already got 2 in under 25 minutes, so they'll definitely be going for it. I have to say, Aggie Beaver-Jones, she held so many players off there, really showing her strength, and Chelsea have spent a lot of time in the opposition's half, and you can see they just keep trying to get the goals, and they've already got 2, and it does look like a third's coming.
Here's Nusken, left of centre in the Bristol City half. Up towards Aggie Beaver-Jones, flicks it out left to Niamh Charles for Wrighton to run onto. Good challenge there by Scylla Struck to win the ball back for Bristol City. And now they'll run forward with Carrie Jones. Jamie Lee Napier's making the run forward, but Musovic comes out way outside her penalty area to get rid of it for Chelsea. Onto the head of Jasmine Bull in the Bristol City half. And up to Fionn Morgan as Bristol City managed to keep possession for more than the few seconds that they've been limited to most of the time here. It's been extraordinary intensity of Chelsea's defensive work and their pressing to win the ball back. Here's Scylla Struck inside the Bristol City penalty area, and back to Fran Bentley, closed down by Aggie Beaver-Jones. And I think this is the longest that Bristol City have actually had possession for, honestly. It's extraordinary how much Chelsea have worked to get the ball back. And it will be a Bristol City throw, I believe. On the far side, the Bristol City left, and it's Ella Powell coming across to take it. What can they do here, the visitors, to try and sort of calm things down and to play their way back into this game, Sam?
Well, I think Bristol City look at their best on the counter-attack because Chelsea are bringing so many numbers forward when they're attacking. So I think their best chance would be play the ball up top as soon as you win possession back when Chelsea have less defenders, and just really utilise their pace, because Bristol City definitely have pace up top. So it's just about using those chances and really taking them when they come, and they've had a few so far. Musovic has read the situation really well, and she's not played that much this season, Hannah Hampton being the number one choice this season. But Chelsea winning it back once again, and Hamano's trying to find Nusken, but Bristol City do just enough inside their own penalty area. They were trying to play it out from the back, and they got caught in possession. Here it goes up to Beaver Jones, centre of the penalty area, now out to Cuthbert to the right, and it's Hamano, the young Japanese player. Back to Erin Cuthbert, who at such a young age is already becoming a bit of a Chelsea legend and a true blue player through and through. You can't really imagine her going anywhere else, can you, Erin Cuthbert? She's been such an incredible player for them. Chelsea still on the ball now, left hand side. Ingle to Nusken, edge of the D, tried to find Wrighton, and she played it forward there, Nusken, but Niamh Charles can't get there ahead of Jasmine Bull, and in the end Bull wins a goal kick off the feet of Niamh Charles. Chelsea 2, Bristol City 0. I think just coming back to Erin Cuthbert, what she's done really well is she's been so patient. She's not always had an adequate amount of game time, and she's had to bide her time, work really hard, and then when she has got her opportunity, she's really proved herself, and then she's cemented a place in that starting lineup so often this season. But she really had to work for it. There's been times where she's not been able to get into that starting lineup.
Now Bristol City trying to play that ball in behind for Amelie Testrup, who is their top scorer. She's had 9 goals this season, Amelie Testrup. She'd love to get into double figures here, I'm sure. She does actually have the highest conversion rate of any player who's scored more than 5 goals in the WSL this season. She's scored on 34% of her shots, Amelie Testrup, so she can be an efficient goal scorer if she can be given the right delivery, get the right chance. So if Bristol City can fashion something on the counter for her, she will back herself against Zakira Mukovic, who's already made a couple of good saves, particularly that one from Carrie Jones earlier on. And Bristol City are going to win another free kick here in their own half, as Erin Cuthbert just came in a bit too eagerly to that challenge. Sunshine still covering the pitch here in West London, but gradually moving over the stand behind us, so only now the sort of far side of the pitch has that glorious sunshine, and almost glistening off those yellow shirts of the Bristol City players as well. Up it goes now from Megan Connolly on that free kick. Megan Connolly, actually, do you know, Sam, Megan Connolly's the only player in this Bristol City squad who has ever scored against Chelsea.
Wow, and she played for Brighton, and I have to say she was a real pivotal part of Brighton when I've seen them play, and I've seen Brighton beat Chelsea actually at Kings Meadow before. And Megan Connolly's a player with a great delivery, putting balls into the box. She played out in America previously. I think she's a player with a wealth of experience, actually.
Yeah, she was one of the players that Bristol City would have been relying on to try and keep them up this season. They haven't had quite enough in their squad, and they have had the youngest average squad this season, Bristol City, by quite some distance actually. I think they have an average age of 24 years, 154 days, according to my research, which I think is a couple of years younger, good couple of years younger than any other team. Here are Chelsea though, with Nusken edge of the penalty area, over to Wrighton, back to Nusken, a heavy touch, just takes it onto the foot of Scylla Strook, who can clear only as far as Millie Bright. And Millie Bright just coming back from injury herself at a crucial time for Chelsea. Such a leader she is at the back as well. Missed a long stretch of this season. The Lioness wearing the captain's armband for Emma Hayes this evening, and has been rock solid as usual, alongside Natalie Björn, who's on the ball now, playing it across to the left, and Niamh Charles. And it's Wrighton now, left wing position, back to Charles, as Bristol City just have numbers back at the moment, forcing Chelsea to play around them. Here is Bright over to the right-hand side, the far side as we look at it, with Perisset. Perisset's ball forwards comes out once again, and it's intercepted by Testrup. Jamie Lee Napier does well to get round Perisset, but Beaver Jones is back there doing her defensive duty in the left-back position to win it back for Chelsea. And Napier, in her frustration, then fouls Perisset. Free kick to Chelsea. Don't forget, you can catch all the best of this weekend's action in the WSL on the Women's Football Show tonight, BBC One, 11:40 p.m, or on the red button slightly sooner as well, and it will be available on iPlayer all week. So that's Women's Football Show tonight, BBC One, 11:40. Half an hour gone, Chelsea leading by 2-0, and the floodgates haven't quite opened, Sam, but there's still plenty of time for Chelsea to get those goals, and the cross comes in for Beaver Jones, and it's just behind her, back across the 6-yard box from Chelsea, and it's given away for another corner by Jasmine Bull. Or was there an offside in there? Yeah, so Bristol City will get the ball back in the end. Forgive me, thought it was another corner there, Sam.
Chelsea really carving open that Bristol City defence, finding the gaps. Really nice link-up play by Chelsea as well. And you can see they're going to keep pushing for more goals. Bristol City have held them off a few times, and Bristol City have looked dangerous themselves on a couple of occasions. You can see that Jamie Lee Napier is really hungry to get the ball and drive it forward. She did previously play for Chelsea, didn't quite get her chances at this club, and you can see that she almost wants to come back and prove herself against Chelsea.
Goal kick taken by Bentley. Ingle wins the header in the centre circle, uncontested. But it goes back forward from the Bristol City back line. And Millie Bright, perhaps slightly eagerly, boots the ball well out of the stadium, far above the small stand on the far side as we look at it, where the TV cameras are. Actually a very small number of spectators can fit in there. Easy to chip the ball all the way on over the top of that stand, and that's exactly what Millie Bright did in trying to clear it there. Here are Bristol City on the far side, the left, but it's played back to Scylla Struck in their own half. Scylla Struck wearing pink boots in these yellow shirt, grey short Bristol City away kits, and Syme now tries to play it forward for Jasmine Bull to run onto Testrup, and she want to replay that effort, because Testrup really snatched at that and she put it high and wide. Still Chelsea lead by 2-0.
I think Syme is also a player to watch out for, another young exciting talent, gets the ball in that midfield and really plays it forward and finds those gaps for her teammates, and I think she's been excellent. And it's a difficult game for Bristol City to play against Chelsea when Chelsea are so hungry to succeed and try and retain that title.
Yeah, it's a unique situation for Bristol City, only playing for pride really. And here's Wrighton trying to find Beaver Jones. Scylla Struck gets rid of Bristol, but comes straight back out to Niamh Charles. Left of the midfield to Ingle, and it's intercepted by Bristol, and now Syme tries to get it forward, and Fiona Morgan's got space to run into him behind here. Fiona Morgan, right hand side, she could go through and be one-on-one with Musovic. It's Fiona Morgan, plays it infield, and that was the wrong decision, because there was Natalie Bjorn. Fiona Morgan could have gone for goal. She opted to try and play in a teammate, and that was the wrong decision. Sam, what was she thinking?
Fiona Morgan showing how she can be a threat, and just that last-ditch decision-making letting her down. I think she was in two minds almost, if to go herself or play it across goal to one of her teammates, and I almost thought she was going to go for it herself, and then unselfishly she tried to find a teammate. I think she has showed how much pace she had going forward, but the last decision just let her down there.
Admirable. It was admirable to try and be unselfish that way. I don't think the teammates in the centre of the penalty area had any better of a chance at goal than Morgan did going herself, and she was pretty much one-on-one with Zakira Musovic. Will Bristol City regret another chance going begging, as Jamie Lee Napier is fouled just the Chelsea side of halfway? Megan Connolly steps up to take this free kick. 10 minutes plus stoppage time to go in this first half. Chelsea 2 goals to the good, and Bristol City, as Sam mentioned, being at their best when they are counter-attacking and playing those direct balls in behind as soon as they win the ball back. Megan Connolly raises both her arms aloft and now chips it in towards the far post. It's towards Emily Simon. It goes but just beyond Simon. Scylla Struck saw it late and it couldn't get there. Goal kick Chelsea. Another opportunity can't be taken by Bristol City.
Connolly, known for her delivery into the box, and I think it was a good one, but couldn't quite keep it in play. But Bristol City have shown glimpses of what they're capable of, and they're playing with no fear. They've got nothing to lose. They're already relegated, as mentioned before, and as they go forward again,
Bristol City just having probably their best spell of this game here, as Emily Syme won the ball, but her ball forward was intercepted by Guro Wrighton. Here's Jasmine Ball once again, up to Testrup. Testrup finding Carrie Jones edge of the penalty area. She's muscled off the ball there by Erin Cuthbert, and he plays it back to Musovic, and she'll clear it long for Scylla Struck to deal with for Bristol City. Now Fran Bentley playing it around Aggie Beaver-Jones, who slid it in to try and win it back there, but Fran Bentley had her number. And Bristol City on the ball once more. Well, perhaps just growing into this game, the Robins. Chelsea, having put in all that early effort and been rewarded for doing so with those 2 early goals, but perhaps just taking their foot off the gas, perhaps just feeling the energy being sapped out of their legs as the chip forward from Sophie Ingle finds Aggie Beaver-Jones onside, marked by Scylla Struck, the replacement centre-back, because Brooke Aspin, the young 18-year-old, who would normally be in the Bristol City backline, is on loan from Chelsea, so she's unable to play against her parent club. Chelsea signed her and then loaned her straight back to Bristol City last summer. Here's Cuthbert now down by the right-hand corner flag for Chelsea. Now to the corner of the penalty area. Cuthbert infield to Ingle. Ingle closed down there by Carrie Jones, but they've retained possession, Chelsea. Here's Wrighton crossing it up to the far post, and Hamano, but Hamano, a player of her stature, wasn't going to beat Ella Powell in the air. In it comes again though, and Beaver-Jones can't get there, and it's ultimately cleared by Bristol City.
I think all the players that Chelsea would have hoped would be in the penalty box attacking those crosses are all out injured. It's interesting, they're still going for that dimension, and they're still trying to get balls into the box. Aggie Beaver-Jones will look to attack them, but I think every bit of play seems to be coming from Guro Wrighton out on this left-hand side. Her delivery is always spectacular, but I think Bristol City, where they've had their chances, it's given them a glimmer of hope, and they've got one here now going forward.
Ev Perisset dispossessed by Napier. It's 3-on-2 for Bristol City. Napier infield, goes across to Morgan, but it's behind Morgan. She had to check her run, tries to find Simon. Syme's range effort goes high and wide over the bar, and that's been a consistent theme for Bristol City. They've now had 3 or 4 chances where they've tried to go for goal and absolutely skied it over the bar. They've got to do better, Bristol City, if they're going to get a goal back. 7 minutes to go, plus stoppage time at the end of this first half. Chelsea 2, Bristol City 0.
I think Bristol City have just lacked that composure when they are in front of goal. They're leaning back and skying the ball over the bar. I think they just need to calm themselves down almost and have faith in themselves.
They've won it back again here in the Chelsea half though, and Testrup plays it out wide to Morgan. Morgan's cross only finds the head of Millie Bright, whose header will go into the path of Ev Perisset. Perisset up to Hamano. Back to Perisset now as Chelsea can play out from the back. But Bristol City have done well with their high press in these last few minutes as Chelsea have tried to play out from the back. Bristol City have caught them in possession a few times, just haven't been able to take those opportunities. And that perhaps sums up their season, you might say, with Bristol City being bottom of the league. They have had some tight games, been on the wrong end of some small margins losses, but when you're not clinical in front of goal and your defence is as leaky as a police informant in an organised crime gang, that's what you get. Here is Cuthbert winning the ball back for Chelsea in the Bristol City half, and she's fouled by Emily Syme. Free kick Chelsea.
I think Bristol City have a lot of young players, so it comes down to their decision making. They're still learning, but they've got big players for the future. Naomi Lazell, who's not playing today, she's part of the England under-23s.
Here's Wrighton now, got onto the end of a ball, tried to play the cross in, but it wasn't good enough, and it's gone out to the edge of the D. Gathered though by Sophie Ingle, and Chelsea would love to get a third goal before half time. Niamh Charles goes in behind, but she's tracked all the way by Jasmine Ball, who does well there for Bristol City. Fiel Morgan nutmegs Wrighton, but slowed the ball down, and Wrighton just gets it back to Natalie Björn, who can restart play for Chelsea from the back. Here's Ingle going back to Millie Bright, and perhaps just the urgency and the pace has gone out of Chelsea's game a little bit here, but they might just pick it up in these last few minutes of the first half. And now it's with Charles, left wing position, taking on Bull, going to the byline, cross left footed, and no one's there in the 6-yard box for Chelsea. Cleared by Bristol City once again, up to Testrup. And Morgan does well to find Carrie Jones. Carrie Jones with Napier in front of her. Napier stays onside. No, she doesn't. She's offside, and Ev Perisset did well there. She spotted the run of Jamie Lee Napier, and all she had to do was just let her stray in front, knowing the flag would go up, and Chelsea will have the ball back. 2-0 the score.
Carrie Jones, a very attacking-minded player, and I think it was the right decision for her to play a through ball in for her teammates, but just offside, couldn't hold the run well enough, but they are showing what they're capable of. But Chelsea keep winning the ball back and attacking again.
And Erin Cuthbert there was in a central position, looking to release Gura Wrighton down the left-hand side, but Wrighton had stopped to retie her shoelaces. So Erin Cuthbert just had to check back. Gets the ball from Ingle once again. Here's Cuthbert wearing the number 22 shirt, hair tied back in her blue boots, and it goes wide this time, far side the right to Ev Perisset. Infield to Ingle, and up to Nusken, who's on the score sheet already this evening. Sjoeke Nusken, a great first season in West London for the 23-year-old German. And Chelsea getting a couple of refereeing calls going their way. There was a bit of a knock there, but no foul given for Bristol City, and so Ingles on the ball once again, midway through the Bristol City half, central position. Now left-hand channel is Natalie Björn. Coming to infield is Niamh Charles. Up to the edge of the penalty area, lovely skill to get round Emily Syme. But it's back to Björn as Bristol City have everybody back behind the ball. And now Erin Cuthbert, a lovely turn from Erin Cuthbert on the edge of the penalty area, but can't get through. Another nutmeg for Bristol City, finds Fionn Morgan on the right-hand side, and Emily Testrup wants it to feet. And she's still inside the Bristol City half, goes back to Emily Syme, and they're going to opt to try and play it from the back. Forward ball down the right, cut out by Niamh Charles. Throw in Bristol City. 3 minutes plus stoppage time of this first half to go. And perhaps Lauren Smith will be fairly happy with the way her team's responded since going 2-0 down, Sam.
Definitely, I think at the beginning of the game you thought it was going to be over in the first half with the amount of chances that Chelsea were creating, but Bristol City now really holding their own and showing that they could potentially get themselves back in this game. They're creating the chances, they're just not converting them well enough. But I think she'll be really pleased with her team, but they've just made the wrong decisions at the last moments.
A real legacy club in women's football, developer of so much talent, Bristol City. The likes of Lauren Hemp, as Carrie Jones, another young player for them, comes forward. Her ball over to the left-hand side is intercepted by Perisset. Back to Bright, and Chelsea will clear. But Bristol City's academy produces lots of talent that the likes of Chelsea often end up benefiting from. And actually, you know, they're not quite perhaps recognised for their role in the women's game, Bristol City. I mentioned Lauren Hemp, amongst others. Scorer against Arsenal earlier today, Lauren Hemp, came out of Bristol.
Sophie Ingle, who's now playing for Chelsea.
Of course, yeah. So, they've definitely contributed and played their part of the development of women's football. But of course, so many other clubs in the WSL have a men's team in the Premier League, and the money of that kind of does the talking. Whereas, of course, Bristol City don't, and they have really struggled to compete just financially with the sides above them, the likes of Brighton, the likes of Everton, West Ham, who of course all have that Premier League money. Even Leicester City, of course, whose men's team have been in the Championship this season, they've just got promoted again back to the Premier League after only one season away, so they're as good as a Premier League side. Chelsea being urged forward now, last minute of the first half, plus stoppage time, but it won't be too much as Nusken making the run forward. Was she offside there? No flag raised, and it's back to Niamh Charles. Left-hand side, Charles and Nusken exchanging passes. Charles with two Bristol City defenders marking her, and Nusken now will just play it round to the centre circle where Millie Bright is waiting for the ball. Up to Ingle. Ingle is fouled by Testrup there, and Bristol City perhaps just looking to slow the game down, prevent Chelsea from scoring again. But here's Cuthbert going from range, and it's deflected wide of Fran Bentley's right-hand upright, and it will be a Chelsea corner. What a time this will be to score a third goal, Sam.
Well, this would be great timing for Chelsea to get a goal just before half-time and really settle the game, because 2-0 has looked a bit nervy at times with Bristol City's chances, but they'll feel fairly confident if they can get a third going into half-time.
1 minute of added time added on, and we are into that 1 minute now as Perisset, brought into the starting lineup this evening, takes the corner. Perisset puts it up to Millie Bright, and it's gone across the face of goal and out for a goal kick. That was a great opportunity for Millie Bright. Couldn't do enough with the header. She would have loved to at least put that on target. The flick went through and no other Chelsea players could get there, and it looks like Bristol City will see out this half at 2-0 to Chelsea, which, given the situation, is not the end of the world for Bristol City. Fairly respectable scoreline, as a defender is down here and receiving some treatment during this 1 minute of extra time.
Well, Chelsea have a lot of talent on the bench that they can freshen things up in the second half. Will it be a superb send-off for Fran Kirby? We know she can bring a bit of magic to the pitch, scored plenty of goals for Chelsea in her career. And also, Joanna Wrighton-Kenneryd, I think she's been one of Chelsea's best performers this season from wide areas. She's brought so much to this team. I think she's been such a consistent player. Be interesting to see if Emma Hayes brings her on as well. Kat Macario coming back from injuries, and she's already been scoring. So Chelsea have so much depth, and they can turn around a second half to even get more goals. But so far, I think Chelsea have done really well.
It's extraordinary, isn't it? Even without Lauren James, even without Sam Kerr, who are both, of course, world-class players, and Myra Ramirez as well, also injured, they still have plenty of goals in the locker. As the Bristol City defender who went down there in the penalty area is now back on her feet, and looks like that was Testrup actually. So she's the Bristol City striker, but after that corner she must have just felt something, and she's being now shepherded off the field by the Bristol City medics. She took a little bit of a knock last week at Ashton Gate, coming onto a low cross, and Chiara Keating, the Manchester City goalkeeper, came out, and they had a real coming together that left both players needing treatment. And we saw Amelie Testrup brought off at half-time in that match, and an ice pack on her neck during the second half as she sat on the bench. So she was a little bit of a concern in terms of her availability for this evening's game. She has been past fit as Chelsea restart play and try and find Hermano down the right-hand side. She's flicked it into Nusken. Can they find one last chance at the end of this first half? Nusken, lovely ball up to Wrighton. Wrighton's crossed to Beaver Jones. Overhead kick is just wide. Goodness me. Aggie Beaver Jones, an acrobatic shot. And that is the end of this first half. What a devastating attack from Chelsea, nearly resulted in that third goal. But at the half-time whistle, the score remains Chelsea 2, Bristol City 0. Your thoughts on that first 45, Sam Miller?
Well, what a goal that would have been if it went in. Aggie Beaver Jones, unbelievable, just wide. I think Chelsea looked dominant from the start, but we can't write Bristol City off because they've had their chances, they've not taken them, but they've shown they can get in behind this Chelsea defence. I think Chelsea have just attacked so much in this first half, and you can only see them building on that in the second half. I think it was a superb performance actually from Chelsea, and Guru Wrighton, a standout performer down this left-hand side, putting so many crosses into the box, and Chelsea looked like scoring more.
And do you think Emma Hayes will make any changes at half-time, or perhaps wait into a little bit of the second half before she brings on some of that depth from the bench?
I think Emma Hayes might make some changes at half-time just to freshen things up. I mean, Chelsea have had so many games this season. They've had cup games, they've had Champions League games, and Emma Hayes is really good at rotating and bringing on players, and I think she'll want to give Fran Kirby the send-off she deserves. I mentioned before Kenneryd, I think she would make an instant impact if she comes on. Macario is building on her minutes since coming back from injury, so there's Lerpulse, she's been excellent as well. So there's so many different players with different qualities that Emma Hayes could potentially bring on in this second half.
So, on a special occasion here in West London, a send-off for Emma Hayes, and it's going to plan so far. Final score at half-time, it's Chelsea 2, Bristol City 0.
You're listening to Women's Super League Football
on BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra.
And while we take a short break here, you can listen to a little bit of the brand new BBC podcast hosted by Lionesses Alessia Russo and Ella Toon. Best mates for a long, long time, having met as teenagers playing for the England youth teams. They brought their special close chemistry together for this podcast series in which they discuss, well, just about everything with Vicky Hope, who you'll hear first.
Do you care about your appearance when you're playing? Because, you know, if it's televised or, you know, a lot of people watching, is it something that matters to you, or is it an afterthought?
I mean, I always take pride in how I look.
Yeah. I always say, feel good, look good, play good.
It's a motto for life.
Yeah. Might get it tattooed on me.
We'll do it on the show.
Why don't we get a trio tattoo?
Let's all get. Why don't one of us get look good, feel good, play good? Do you have any other like pre-match rituals or any superstitions?
I used to be really bad for superstitions. Like I used to have loads of like stupid ones. As each season comes, I try and get rid of a few because. Don't know why we have them, but I feel like every footballer has them for some reason. I used to sing the same chant every match day.
What was that?
I threw that out the window.
Woke up this morning.
Feeling fine. Got Man United on my mind. United are playing the way that United should. Oh yeah. Something tells me I'm onto something good. But like I'd wake up and I'd sing it to myself, and I'm like, how's that helping me on the pitch? In 3 hours, you know what I mean? Like, why can I not get on with my day without singing that chant? I wear the same sports bra and knickers. Obviously, I wash them. My mum washes them. And then when the ref blows the whistle, I shout, "Come on, straight in!" every time.
Yeah, I listen to the same playlist every game day.
Is it country?
It honestly has everything in it. It has like country, R&B, a little bit of house, a little bit of like, it's not sad music, but like, I don't know, like Adele. Not sad music, but like mellow. Yeah. And then I jump 7 times before the whistle blows. Don't know why. Don't know how it starts.
Always 7.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I have 7 tattooed on me here.
It was for me.
And everyone thinks it's for Tooney. I mean, I love you, but I didn't.
No, and I would never expect you to do that.
But maybe.
Together and watch Coldplay, so that was both ticked off our bucket list. And Coldplay actually wrote all of our names on the drum,
like the whole Lionesses.
All the Lionesses.
Yeah, one of the best concerts I've ever been to in my life. Yeah,
and would go back again in a heartbeat
for sure. But it was just nice that it was on both our lists, and we wanted to do that anyway. And then we got asked to go.
I didn't think we were going to say the same thing, but I'm glad we did.
Yeah, I always say that.
Who have you met that you never thought you would have the chance to, and that you were just so made up about?
I've met Alex Ferguson now a few times, and every time I speak to him, I'm just in awe. Like, I grew up watching his Manchester United team. Like, he won everything, and yeah, he was just what made me fall in love with Manchester United as a club. So now to have times where I've sat next to him at games, I've spoke to him a few times, I'm just like, wow, like you are just an amazing man. He's such a nice person, and someone who every time he speaks you just want to listen to every word that he has to say.
Alessia, the first time I met you was at an event. I was giving you an award, at a magazine event, and it was all these amazing women there.
Yeah.
And that was one night where I was like, oh my God, look, there's Janelle Monáe. There's, at one point, Ginger Spice.
Oh, yeah.
Jerry Halliwell.
Jerry, yeah.
I think she like sat next to you.
I know, I was nervous sitting down. She was sat right next to me.
I was going to say, because I was like making eyes at you. That sounds weird. I was like trying to catch your eye across the table, and I was like, hi, nice to meet you. But there's Ginger.
Yeah. Me too. I was like
She
that as well.
she loves a football.
Yeah, she does love football.
Yeah.
I think she comes to a few games.
Yeah.
She was lovely. Really, really nice.
What did she chat to you about?
Everything. Oh, she was talking to me about the speech because I had to do a speech, didn't I?
Yeah.
She was like, just picture everyone naked. Yeah.
I've heard that before.
No, she was really nice. She was just super normal, super chilled.
There's something about those Spice Girls, because I grew up and that was like the bastion of girl power, and it really meant a lot. So seeing her, and I remember how much me and my friends at the time were like obsessed with them and what they stood for, and how they made you feel like you could be unapologetically you.
Yeah.
Which was this really cool, liberating concept. When I saw her, I was like, and she shouted across the table, she went, congratulations on getting married. And I was like, how do you know?
Yeah, she seemed very in the know about everything, to be fair to her.
Yeah, it made me think, she researched us all around this table. Who's made you the most nervous that you've met over the years?
I'm just nervous all the time, me. Like, until I proper meet someone, I am nervous. I remember the first thing we did after the Euros was the Pride of Britain Awards.
Oh, yeah.
And there were so many people in that room where we were like, wow, like, watch you on the telly all the time.
Do you know who I loved seeing at the Pride of Britain? The Chasers.
Yeah.
I love The Chase.
Yeah.
Oh, The Chase, yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
my God. It's like, I watch it like pretty much every day when I get home from training.
Favourite chaser?
I would hate to go against the Beast because, I mean, I'd lose against any of them, but I love a game show, if you can tell.
The stuff that comes with it is very much secondary, like going to these events, the Pride of Britain or whatever, but it is a bit of fun. I think that's the best way to treat it, is just be like, well, it's just like a chance to dress up and see amazing people.
That is the thing.
But it's a nightmare, that,
it's hard
I don't know how
work.
you do it, because the first time was that Pride of Britain right after the Euros.
You had a bit of a wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah,
What happened?
I was wearing a dress and it was like gifted for the night, and then I would wear it, and so I'd obviously not really tried it on properly. Oh my God, I had about 6 safety pins either side.
You were faffing a lot, wasn't you?
It was like really low cut here, so I needed to like pinch it together a little bit, and I had like pins and then it was all digging into me during the show, and I was thinking, for God's sake, I wish I just wore another dress.
Yeah.
And then the following year I wore another dress, a lot more comfortable dress. I went and bought it like the weekend before, and then I wore it and I was sat at the table and I thought, oh, what is that digging into the back? And I turned around and got one of the girls to look at it. That like all 5 tags were just
You've done the red carpet.
No, I was sat on my table, like already done the red carpet, already meet everyone, and sat down, was eating dinner like in the middle of a circle table in the middle of the room, and I just had like 5 tags down the back. No one told
so
me.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like I think we definitely got used to dressing up more, and I've realised now you've just got to feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Oh, because if you don't feel comfortable and you sat there for like 4 hours, like, you know what I mean? It's it's horrible.
I'll tell you why, because you look good, you feel good, you play good.
Yeah.
100%.
Amen.
Yeah. It's all about comfort, because when you're comfortable, then you're confident, and then you look really sexy anyway.
Yeah. Even when we do shoots and they put us in some outfits.
Yeah.
How have you found the like fashion side of things? Because I've seen you guys have done some like high fashion shoots.
Yeah, I mean, we've always been into it, haven't we? I've loved fashion, like, always. I love shopping, I love looking at different things, but sometimes I don't get it, but...
I would never pick it, but when I'm there, I'm like, yeah, why not?
Yeah.
Like, they obviously think it's cool, so I'm going to put it on. There was one, though, where you came with me, and I had this like long skirt thing on, and they had me posing on a stool.
Oh my God!
And I'm like that. I'm like a watch on YouTube. Dangling off the end of the stool. Like,
yeah.
And all I could see was Les in the background laughing her head off. I looked like a bird. But I was just like, yeah, let's go for it.
Yeah.
I think if someone dressed me like that every day, I would like it. Like I would like to be. out there and quirky and that, but I would never pick it myself, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's having the time in the morning to pick it. It's great if it's for,
Yeah.
like you say, it's a piece of art, it's a bit creative and someone's putting the time and the effort into it. But it is a bit of fun. It's like, would I get a chance to do this otherwise? No, so may as well enjoy it.
Exactly. I think, like, we've been offered so many, like, different and amazing opportunities after, like, the Euros and the World Cup and stuff like that. So we're like, why not just go and do everything that we can and explore and meet new people and go to events that we never thought we'd ever be invited to. But yeah, it's really nice, and it's nice to dress up and not just always be in a footy kit, you know.
I feel like that's a really great approach to take from that whirlwind that has been your footballing career so far, and those highs and those successes and those accolades and everything that comes with it. It's like, well, why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
May as
We've
well.
earned it.
Yeah, you definitely have.
You're listening to Women's Super League Football.
On BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra.
Well, that was Manchester United's Ella Toone and Arsenal's Alessia Russo chatting with Vicky Hope, and an extract from their brand new podcast series, available of course on BBC Sounds and all your usual podcast providers. Meanwhile, we are just moments away from the second 45 minutes of Emma Hayes' final match as Chelsea manager after 12 years, 6 WSL titles, 5 FA Cups and 2 Conti Cups as Chelsea manager. The end of an era. It feels like a special occasion to be here this evening, and it's not just Emma Hayes departing, of course, it's 2 long-serving Chelsea players, Maren Mjelde and Fran Kirby as well. But Sam, so far, score is 2-0 to Chelsea, and although they're now sort of back in the title race, being 6 points behind Man City with 2 games in hand, because Man City have a goal difference advantage of 7, or had a goal difference advantage of 7 going into this game, if the Man City players are watching this tonight, they're thinking, so far, not so bad, because if it finishes like this, yes, Chelsea get 3 points, but they're still behind on goal difference by a margin of 5, and that gives City a little bit more of an advantage going into the final day. Do you think Chelsea need to really step on the gas here in the second half?
I really do. I think this is Chelsea's opportunity, especially while they have the momentum with them. They have looked much more confident in this game in comparison to other games I've seen them play in this season. I have to say, I'm loving the crowd here at Kingsmeadow, their last home game here, and you can really feel it, feel all the emotions. But I think Chelsea will feel disappointed if they win this game by no more goals, because this is their chance to get on the score sheet more, because look how many chances they're creating and how many times they've gone forward in this first half, and if they continue where they left off in the second half, I can see them getting more goals. And I did say we might see Fran Kirby.
Yeah, you may have heard the cheer from the crowd, and that is for number 14, the Chelsea legend, joined from Reading in 2015 and has since made over 200 appearances and scored 115 goals. It's Fran Kirby being brought on at half-time for, it looks like, Sjoeke Nusken, as Bristol City battling for the ball in the midfield. Now the Robins attacking the goal away to our left, and they've won a free kick here, just the attacking side of the centre circle, as the second half gets going. So the score, Chelsea 2, Bristol City 0, as Bristol City have an opportunity, a rare attacking opportunity, to put in a free kick and cause some havoc in the Chelsea penalty area. You can see Amelie Testrup in her orange boot. She now has a bandage round her head, so she might have had to have that looked at after the knock from the corner at the end of the first half, saw her down needing treatment. But here is Megan Connolly playing the ball in once again. Connolly over to the far post, headed away by Björn. And it's out to Aggie Beaver-Jones, who's all alone on the Chelsea attack at the moment. Beaver-Jones turns away from a Bristol City defender and finds Hamano right-hand side. But Jamie Lee Napier does well to win the ball back. She's given away a throw-in, and Chelsea will have it. Napier blocked Hamano there, and the fans not happy about that one. Just trying to stop Chelsea from taking it quickly, because as Sam said, this is Chelsea's chance to close the gap, not just on points, but could be even more crucially on goal difference to Manchester City. Of course, City did lose by 1, but Chelsea need to win by 7 to nullify that difference. Here's Amy Rogers though on the attack for Bristol City, tried to play it back to Testrup, but it's just ahead of her, and it will roll out of play for a Chelsea goal kick. Zakira Musovic but grateful that one wasn't played into the feet of Emily Testrup, Sam.
Definitely. You can see that Bristol City, they are creating chances, and they could potentially get a goal at some point if they keep going like this. But Chelsea, I think they look comfortable in this game, and I think bringing on Fran Kirby would almost be the fairy tale ending for Fran Kirby to get a goal here at Kingsmeadow in front of the fans for her last home game here, as well as Emma Hayes'. And you can see Chelsea, they've brought in players back from injury, the likes of Millie Bright, Natalie Bourne. And I think Chelsea just continue going forward, and you can see them scoring in the second half.
Here's Ingle up to Cuthbert, and Chelsea going all-out attack here, with spaces being left in behind for Bristol City to exploit. So far the visitors have not had the quality to exploit that successfully. Here's Napier though in the defensive half, playing it back to Scylla Struck, and it's up to Carrie Jones. Left it goes to Powell now for Bristol City, and Powell looks up, tries to play a long ball forward to Testrup, but it's mishit and it will go way beyond her. Over to the left hand side of the penalty area to be gathered on the bounce by Zakira Musovic. The Swedish international being preferred in goal this evening to Hannah Hampton, who's normally been Emma Hayes' first choice between the sticks. But so far she's been equal to everything Bristol City have had to offer. And forward goes Niamh Charles, far side the left for Chelsea. Infield to Kirby. First touch of the ball for Fran Kirby, finding Beaver Jones, who gets around Megan Connolly. And as she brought down there, Beaver Jones, nothing doing for the referee. Emily Syme protesting her innocence. And forward it goes to Morgan for Bristol City, and they get rid of it. Fans not quite happy there because Beaver Jones went down. Would have been a great free kick position, but the referee let play go on.
Beaver Jones just forcing it there, and I think what she does really well is holds the ball up, and she's drawn the foul, and I'm surprised the referee didn't give it actually, but here's Chelsea's chance.
Beaver Jones out to the right hand side and Hamano, but Hamano thought Perisset was coming on the overlap, played it forward, but Perisset was a bit too wide, a bit too far back, can't get onto it. Goal kick, Bristol City. Chelsea 2, Bristol City 0 the score. 4 minutes into a crucial second half for Chelsea's title ambitions, which were all but written off midweek after losing 4-3 at Prenton Park against Liverpool, conceding 3 goals from corners. The set-piece defending was woeful from Chelsea, and Liverpool were wonderful. And Emma Hayes was all but conceding the title to Man City at the end of that game. Do you think there was an element of mind games in that though? Because knowing that City still had to go and play Arsenal, it's a little bit disrespectful to Arsenal to just write them off in that game against Man City. Of course they have now gone and won it, but was it all just a little bit of a mind game to try and put pressure on Gareth Taylor's side, do you think?
At the time I didn't think so. I just felt like it was a moment where Emma Hayes was a bit defeated, and she seemed a bit deflated in her interview because they'd just lost to Barcelona when it had the away advantage.
Here's Beaver Jones down the left hand side, found by Wrighton. Beaver Jones has her pass cut out there. It comes back to Niamh Charles. Charles down the left hand side. We'll just see out this attack before coming back to you, Sam, and it goes across the face of goal to Hamano, but can't get there, and it will be goal kick to Bristol City. Sorry,
it seemed very believable to me. I felt like Emma Hayes really meant it when she said that. I think it's not been Chelsea's best season arguably, and I feel like Emma Hayes felt that because it wasn't in Chelsea's hands. I think so often we see Chelsea have the advantage where it's in their hands to go on and win, but Emma Hayes felt that it was all down to Manchester City, and I don't think she liked the fact that she was relying on another club enable for her to be still in that title race with Chelsea. And I think she'll be really, and I think she'll be really pleased actually with the result today, that it did end up going Arsenal's way, and maybe she did give Arsenal a bit of motivation there.
Here come Bristol City now with Jamie Lee Napier on the attack, cuts inside Perisset, but Perisset stuck a foot in, won it back for Chelsea. Here comes Powell though, Powell into the box, and it's just put wide by Fionn Morgan, I think. Referee signalling a goal kick to Chelsea, but another warning shot fired by Bristol City there. Chelsea just caught napping at the back there. Perisset did well to win the ball back, but it came straight to Ella Powell, who got the ball in, and Bristol City spurning another chance. Still 2-0 Chelsea.
I think Musovic has been really switched on, especially the fact that she's not had too much game time this season. We've often seen Emma Hayes rotate goalkeepers, but she's stuck with Hannah Hampton for such a long time. I think Hannah Hampton was tremendous, but Chelsea could be in with a chance here going forward with Erin Cuthbert.
Beaver Jones to Cuthbert. Beaver Jones! 3-0! And what a breakout season this young player is having. Aggie Beaver Jones. You better remember the name. Adds a third goal to Chelsea, and it's turning into the perfect evening for Emma Hayes' side. Chelsea 3, Bristol City 0.
Aggie Beaver Jones making the perfect run into the box, timed it to perfection, and Erin Cuthbert picked her out. Erin Cuthbert's been absolutely brilliant this game, just down this right hand side. Brilliant finish, and Chelsea go 3-0 up.
So 7 minutes in to this second half, and Bristol City have not been able to withstand Chelsea's precision, power and poise with their play. The quality gulf between the top of the WSL and the bottom has never been more obvious, as Bristol City now have an opportunity to play a cross in, but it comes out to Bright. Shot comes in from Carrie Jones. Carrie Jones for the top corner, and it's put high and wide. And there it is once again. You just feel that Chelsea have the clinical competence to take their chances. Bristol City, sadly for them and their fans, just don't quite. And that will see them relegated back to the Women's Championship for at least another season, to be replaced by WSL newcomers, Crystal Palace. It'll be interesting to see how they fare next season. Of course, a team whose men's side and the club are in the Premier League, so financially again they might have the budget to invest in their squad a bit more than Bristol City have been able to. But here they are coming forward again, trying to find Testrup, but cut out by Björn. The Swedish defender has done really well for Chelsea since arriving from Everton. And they win it back once more in the Bristol City half. Up to right and left hand side from Sophie Ingle. Infield to Kirby, and Kirby drawing great rounds of applause every time she touches the ball. Back out to Wrighton. And Wrighton just taking her time playing it in field to Ingle. Ingle just urged to shoot by a few Chelsea fans, but goes across to the right of centre for Cuthbert. Now out wide to Perisset and Hamano. And now to Millie Bright, and Bristol City defending in a low block. Bjorn, central position, across to her defensive partner Millie Bright, and up to Hamano. Hamano infield to Cuthbert, under pressure, but Cuthbert does well to find Perisset. Perisset up to the byline for Hamano. Hamano cut back, and Beaver Jones is just denied by a Bristol City defender. And that was lovely attacking football down that right hand side from Chelsea. Still they lead by 3.
Chelsea's link-up play has been superb. They're just finding each other in the spaces. I think they've been really impressive in both the first half and the beginning of this second half.
Out comes Strook for Bristol City. Back to Fran Bentley, who's having a tough evening, and she's given a ball away here to Hamano. Hamano now with space to run into, up to the edge of the penalty area. Amy Rogers does brilliantly there just to slow down the attack, but Hamano wins it back off her toes, and so Ingle will try and play it forward to Kirby. And Kirby now to Charles, left hand side, and Chelsea just relentless in their attacking effort. Referee playing advantage because Charles was brought down there. Here's Wrighton, left hand corner of the penalty area, and Kirby finds Charles. Charles headed away by Amy Rogers, and now counter-attack on for Bristol City once again, and Jamie Lee Napier looked to be offside, but it's cut out by Bjorn anyway. And the Chelsea defence just seemed to have Bristol City's number at all times here in this second half. Other than that opportunity they spurned early on at the near post, it's been all Chelsea, Sam.
It has, and I've seen glimpses of what Bristol City can do, and Chelsea go forward
now
again.
Wrighton from distance, oh my words! Guro Wrighton with a second of the night. And it's 4 for Chelsea and Emma Hayes, and they are well on their way to closing that gap to Manchester City. The title race looks to be going down to the wire, because they're going to win one of their games in hand, and if they beat Tottenham next Wednesday, it'll be all square going into the final day of the season, with goal difference potentially the title decider. Chelsea 4, Bristol City 0.
A spectacular finish from Guro Wrighton, picked out a spot from distance right into the corner. Excellent play there from Wrighton. She's full of confidence in this second half. Another goal to her game. Brilliant.
Now they just want to find Kirby, get the goal for Fran Kirby for her final home game. But Morgan's now coming down the right for Bristol City, and she can't find the target. I thought she might have won a corner there off Neve Charles, but she actually just scuffed the cross. Goal kick taken quickly by Chelsea, and they smell blood here, the home side. Still plenty of time to go, only 56 on the clock, and Chelsea lead by 4-0. Chip forward from Sophie Ingle is wayward, and it will be a Bristol City throw-in on this near side, the left. And Ella Powell now, as Bristol City just look deflated, but they've got to find some motivation from somewhere. They've got to put the effort in for the badge, if nothing else. And Strzok goes out to the right-hand side where there is space for Jasmine Bull and Carrie Jones, but going nowhere so far at Bristol City, as Chelsea have all the spaces covered. And they know that conceding a goal would be foolish, of course, because goal difference is key. So a clean sheet is still vital here for Emma Hayes. And the royal blue wearing West Londoners. Jamie Lee Napier finding a cross, and it's just over the head of Amy Syme. Neve Charles was back, and here's Fran Kirby playing it forward for Hamano, but Megan Connolly is across the cover. Back to Fran Bentley, 57 on the clock. Chelsea 4, Bristol City 0.
Chelsea so patient with their build-up play, and Fran Kirby, such an unselfish player, gets the ball, receives it and passes it on to her teammate straight away. She's so good at linking up play, finding those pockets of space as well, and setting up her teammates, and she's scored a tremendous amount of goals for the club, and I hope she gets one today for a send-off at Kings Meadow.
Here at Bristol City though, with Carrie Jones finding space inside the penalty area, almost to test her up, but couldn't quite get a head on that, marked by Millie Bright, sorry. Carrie Jones there just found herself in a little pocket of space, and Chelsea can't afford to switch off here as Neve Charles brings it forward down the left-hand side and up to Wrighton. Wrighton marked by Jasmine Bull, but she tries to play it forward to Aggie Beaver-Jones, but it will go all the way through to Fran Bentley. Restarted immediately up to Amy Rogers. Rogers to Strzok. And this game is a little bit end-to-end now, Sam.
It really is, but Chelsea 4-0. It almost feels like the game's done, but there's still such a long way to go.
Sure, there are more goals in it. And as Chelsea now on the right-hand side with Perisset on the ball. Back to Millie Bright, who's spotting a long diagonal ball to Guro Wrighton. She does well to spot Wrighton there, because she was well camouflaged behind some blue advertising hoardings and all the fans behind in their blue kits. I couldn't quite see where Guro Wrighton was there, but Millie Bright spotted her, fired out that long diagonal ball, and it's won back by Charles in the attacking third. Here's Wrighton playing a cross in, and it's towards Hamano. Hamano can't get there. It looked like she read the cross wrong there. It went over her head, but it's recovered by Cuthbert. Up to Ingle, edge of the penalty area. Now Perisset. Back to Cuthbert again. And Chelsea looking for a fifth. Looking to close that gap to Man City. And the Sky Blues players might be watching or listening to this after losing to Arsenal earlier this afternoon, and worrying how many more goals Chelsea might get. Chelsea, of course, do have to go to Tottenham and then to Manchester United. City can still win the title away to Aston Villa on that final day. If they get a big win, they'll give themselves every chance. But let's see what happens in the rest of this game this evening as Chelsea fire it into Cuthbert from the left-hand side. Back out to Bjorn though. And here is Millie Bright. Chipping it out wide to Hamano, but a heavy touch from Hamano allows Bristol City to win it back. Clearance cut out by Millie Bright. And Ingle now. Chelsea camped in the Bristol City half, really under the cosh, the visitors. Bjorn up to Ingle, and with her experience, just looking to spot the right pass. Aggie Beaver-Jones got a heavy touch and it went through to Fran Bentley. So an hour gone, 4-0 to Chelsea. Still plenty of time for Emma Hayes to get the perfect send-off and to put Chelsea well and truly back in this title race.
You can see a real performance from Chelsea today. We've missed this season. I haven't quite seen them play like this. I think they've been a bit inconsistent, but today they really look on it.
Here's Beaver-Jones just outside the D, coming up to Neve Charles. Guro Wrighton has plenty of space left-hand side, infield to Kirby. Kirby is miles from goal, but she's being urged to shoot pretty much every time she touches the ball now. Chelsea fans desperate for her to get that farewell goal. And here is Bjorn, back up to Kirby. Kirby just playing the triangles, playing the passes, rotating those positions, making a run in behind, but didn't spot it. Millie Bright. And the light just starting to fade now in West London as evening sets in. We can see the sky going that slight shade of pink as the sun goes under the horizon. And another substitution about to be made here. And it's Sophie Ingle being brought off. And coming on is Katarina Macario, and a second substitution as well as Johanna Ritting-Kaneryd comes on for Ev Perisset. So 2 attacking changes there, Sam, a striker and a winger coming on for a holding midfielder and a right back.
Well, just saying, I did say those 3 players were going to be the players that Emma Hayes would bring on in this second half, so I've got that spot on. I think Ritting-Kaneryd, she's been the most consistent player in this Chelsea side for me. She's had such an engine on her. She's gone up and down that pitch like a yo-yo, and I think she's brought so much to this team. And actually, I think she's had her best season yet, and I interviewed her about it, and she said that she's just really felt confident this season, and it's really impacted how she's playing, and she's just been excellent in every game that I've seen Chelsea play in. And Macario, I think, to come back the way she has from such big injuries and set herself up to score from early on, I think has been really impressive as well. And see those players come on, I think that would just push Chelsea forward in this game to get even more goals as Fran Kirby's on the ball.
And then he'll win it back, Fran Kirby to Macario. Macario right hand side, shot blocked by Struck, and it's going to come out to Kaneryd. Johanna Ritting-Kaneryd, first touch of the ball down to the byline. Ella Powell does well, but it's a corner to Chelsea. And looks like who's going to come across to take it? It's going to be Guro Reiten, running all the way over from the left wing to that right corner flag because of her left-footed delivery being favourable from that side. And she's wasting no time as Chelsea set up for this corner with Fran Kirby on the edge of the penalty area. Here comes the corner, puts it up, punched away by Bentley. Bright is there, Macario just over the bar. Wow, Katarina Macario almost scored just after coming on. Another devastating corner, causing chaos in the Bristol City backline. And Ella Powell's going down. Medics being beckoned on. And Bristol City just need a little bit of a tactical timeout, perhaps.
Ella Powell has been such a key player for Bristol City. I think she's performed really well this season. Just a shame that the players that have performed so well that aren't getting much for it. They haven't won many games and already relegated. She's still down at the moment, but I think this Bristol City side have such bright prospects. I mentioned earlier Lazelle, who when she was out in Spain with the Lionesses under 23, she actually got called up to the senior squad to train with them, so that shows where she's at in her career, already on the radar of Serena Wiegmann. Lazelle not playing today. We also don't have Rachel Furness in the team, who's the player with the most experience. Yep. And I think they're just lacking some players today, Bristol City, but they've done well on occasions in this game against a tough Chelsea side. Still receiving treatment, but Chelsea will be really pleased with their performance so far in this game.
65 on the clock, and it's Chelsea 4, Bristol City 0. As ever, all the goals and the best of this weekend's action will be on the Women's Football Show. That's tonight, BBC One, at 11:40 p.m, or you can catch it slightly earlier than that on the red button. It will be available on iPlayer all week. So if you've got that appetite to stay up late on a bank holiday weekend, you can watch Match of the Day 2, followed by the Women's Football Show. All the football you could ever want. Premier League title race, WSL title race. It's a feast of football on BBC One this evening on this lovely bank holiday weekend. And looks like play is going to resume as that period of treatment is over for Bristol City. And Fran Bentley fires it out to the left-hand side for Jamie Lee Napier, who's immediately under pressure, man-marked by Johanna Ritting-Kaneryd. Carrie Jones wins it back in midfield. No, she's lost it to Hamano. And Macario to Ritting-Kaneryd, and her cross is blocked. ricochets back across, back off Ritin Canarid. So Bristol City goal kick. Chelsea 4, Bristol City 0.
I have to say, when we look to our right and you see the players out injured, you have to think if some of those players were available and fit this season, Chelsea would have won a lot more this season, in my opinion. I think Sam Kirby in such a key miss, such a top goal scorer for this team, and just need to find her.
Wrighton once again crossing it over for Macario. Lovely first touch. Macario only could go high and wide above the goal, and Kirby can't get there, and so Fran Bentley will deal with it. Comes out to claim that slightly messy attack in the end there for Chelsea. So with me, Angus Patterson, and Sam Miller on 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sounds, as the WSL title race is being put back onto the category of nail biter. Could go all the way down to the wire on the final day of the season if Chelsea win their other game in hand, as Millie Bright cuts out a clearance for Bristol City, trying to get into the penalty area. Can Bristol City now counter-attack? Jamie Lee Napier up towards Testrup. She's well marked by Niamh Charles, and Niamh Charles does well to play it back to Musovic. And Bright now coming forward to Cuthbert, who's just dropped into a deeper midfield role. So where Sophie Ingle was playing in that number 6 position is now Erin Cuthbert, and the attack down the left-hand side ultimately goes begging because Wrighton's ball was behind Niamh Charles. Bristol City throw. And we're into the sort of 4th quarter of this game. And once again, just like the first half, Chelsea dominant early, but the pace has just sort of slightly gone from their attack, as Fionn Morgan does brilliantly there to outpace Niamh Charles, and it's in for Testrup. Testrup shoots straight at the arms of Zakira Musovic, and Emily Testrup, another golden opportunity, goes begging for the Bristol City striker. It was difficult, the ball was bouncing, it was just behind her, but she should have done better with that shot. Chelsea immediately going down the other end. Macario infield to Hamano. Hamano with space, urged to shoot. No, she goes wide to Wrighton. Wrighton crosses in, and her cross is blocked. Another Chelsea corner, and it's back to being end-to-end, Sam.
It really is. Bristol City finding themselves in the right areas, just lacking that clinical edge that Chelsea have clearly had in this game, being 4-0 up. You can see they're looking to find Wrighton in dangerous areas out wide. Wrighton then getting the ball into the box. It's alluded to a corner now, but they're creating so many chances.
It's Katerina Macario standing over this corner. Macario puts it up, headed out by Struck, and Fran Kirby chasing it outside the penalty area. Fionn Morgan battling for it for Bristol City, but Hamano is there to deal with the pressure, and Musovic will restart for the Sky Blues. So 21 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Emma Hayes will be willing her team forward. They need at least one more goal to really put the pressure on Man City, because with an away trip to Tottenham to come, Tottenham FA Cup finalists, a good team, a much better team than Bristol City, you can't see the winning margin there being as wide as it might be this evening with tonight's visitors. And Macario now gets on the ball edge of the penalty area. Lovely flick back to Wrighton. Wrighton at the byline. 5-0. Guro Wrighton gets her hat-trick this evening with the penalty in the 5th minute and 2 lovely goals. What a player she is, Guro Wrighton. And there's that extra goal that I was just talking about. Chelsea on the charge. They are running riot at Kingsmeadow on Emma Hayes' final home game. Guro Wrighton the goal scorer. Chelsea 5, Bristol City 0.
Wrighton, provider, goal scorer. She's brought everything to this game. Guro Wrighton on absolute fire. She's been clinical in this match. What a wonderful finish there, getting herself in the right area. Guro Wrighton absolutely fantastic, and what an important goal that could prove to be.
The goals just keep on coming for Chelsea, and there's still time to play, as Bristol City have brought on Shania Hales, the Jamaican, to play up front alongside Amelie Testrup. So they've made an attacking change themselves, Bristol City, having brought off the midfielder Emily Syme. So 2 strikers now.
think Bristol City, just trying to change the dimension, but I thought everything was going through Syme in the midfield. I think she was instrumental actually to the majority of Bristol City's chances, but Hales brings a lot of pace. We know she can score goals, not had as much game time as she would have hoped and expected to have this season. I think Bristol City are just going to throw everything at it now, try new things. They've got nothing to lose. They're already 5-0 down, 70 minutes gone.
And so Chelsea with Millie Bright at the back on the ball. And that goal difference now, the margin has been cut to 2 with the scoreline as it stands. Man City with a goal difference of plus 45, Chelsea plus 43. So it's still advantage to Gareth Taylor's side, but not by much anymore. That 2-1 loss to Arsenal, well, could it be their undoing? Could it be that their London rivals have given Chelsea the golden opportunity to potentially win a 5th WSL title in a row? How ironic that would be, given the rivalry and the animosity between Arsenal and Chelsea. Remember that full-time scene after the Conti Cup final, which Arsenal won after extra time. Emma Hayes not happy with Arsenal boss Jonas Eidevall, giving him a little bit of a push as he came over to shake her hand at the end of that cup final at Molineux Stadium. The rivalry is very much there, perhaps more so than between Arsenal and Tottenham and Chelsea and other London sides. Those two have been at the top of the women's game for so long. But Chelsea have been given a lifeline by the Gunners. Here's Macario taking an attacking free kick, right-hand side, into Millie Bright, and it's fired in by Niamh Charles. It's 6, a scintillating 6th for Chelsea. What a finish by Niamh Charles. And it just keeps going for Emma Hayes' side. This is turning into the perfect day for Chelsea, Sam. Chelsea 6, Bristol City 0.
Well, Chelsea can't stop scoring. An excellent delivery from Macario into the box. Niamh Charles we see so often out wide, and she's come into a more central area. An excellent finish from Charles, but it was all thanks to Macario's hard work. And Chelsea are really dominating this match against Bristol City, and they are getting their goal difference right up now.
Well, Bristol City have been woeful. Chelsea have been wonderful. And here's Kirby to Macario edge of the penalty area, and Kirby almost wanted to go himself, and Hermano just wide. And they are really stepping their foot on the gas now, going through the gears. Fran Kirby had an opportunity to go for goal herself, I thought, there, and the Chelsea fans were willing her to do it. Unselfishly, she tried to play in Macario. Perhaps the wrong decision there, Sam.
Fran Kirby, the opportunity to shoot, but she is so unselfish with her play that we've mentioned so many times. Could have taken a shot herself. I think she wanted to set Macario up because Fran Kirby is a player that knows what it takes to get back from injury, and Macario has definitely had some really serious injuries that she's come back from. She's already scored on her return, looking for more.
Chelsea playing it forward once again as the fans chant, "We want 7." That is the gulf in class between these two sides as Ritten Cannerid comes down the right-hand side, back to Beaver Jones. Beaver Jones taken down by Napier there, and another attacking free kick in the right wing position goes Chelsea's way. And they just scored from a free kick, not far from that exact spot, Sam. What can they do with this one? With 15 minutes plus stoppage time to go, leading by 6-0. As Emma Hayes still has a couple of changes to make. When are we going to see Maren Mjelde come on, who of course has been at Chelsea for nearly as long as Fran Kirby has won nearly as many trophies as Kirby, and has had her own special moments in the Chelsea shirt, the Norwegian. I wonder when she'll get her opportunity to say goodbye on the pitch to the fans here as well. Macario and Wrighton, the two options to take this free kick. It's level with the edge of the penalty area, just in from the right-hand touchline. Kirby is once again at the edge of the D. Everybody lining up for Chelsea. Wrighton puts it up left-footed, headed away by Hales for Bristol City, and Wrighton immediately gets it back from a fan to take the throw-in quickly by the corner flag. Macario back to Wrighton, as Chelsea are just looking to go full throttle all the way to the end here. Bristol City, though, do win a throw-in, and they've got to try and play it out from all the way down by their left-hand corner flag. Ella Powell will chuck it up the left-hand touchline as far as possible, but Millie Bright heads it back forward for Chelsea. Beaver Jones gets on the end of the ball from Hanano, and it's Wrighton for a fourth, and there it is! The fans were chanting "We want 7" just a couple of minutes ago, and Guro Wrighton delivers for Chelsea. She scored 4 tonight. Chelsea 7, Bristol City 0.
Pinpoint precision there from Guro Wrighton. Everything she's touched tonight has turned to gold. She has been absolutely spectacular in this game, and she's just scored yet another goal. What a finish from Guro Wrighton.
And that is the goal difference deficit completely erased at the top of the WSL. These goals could be huge, and Manchester City will be quaking in their boots, because I tell you what, we've got 13 minutes plus stoppage time still to play here. Bristol City now are going to make a couple more changes. Abby Harrison coming on for Fionn Morgan, and Mary Ward, the youngster, also being brought on for Jasmine Bull, the right back. And Bristol City are facing a very long evening and a very long last 15 minutes or so of this game indeed. Scylla Struck now trying to play it forward, and the weight of this occasion has just made Bristol City crumble in the last few minutes. Chelsea, everything going their way. Bristol City can't get out of their own defensive third, let alone their own half, as Chelsea come forward once more. Niamh Charles, the goal scorer of Chelsea's 5th this evening, up to Aggie Beaver Jones. She tried to play in Kirby, but cut out there by Carrie Jones. But her pass is behind Abby Harrison. Throw-in taken quickly by Chelsea, and Macario lofts it over for Fran Kirby to run onto, but she can't get there. Fran Bantley will come and collect for the Robins, and they've got to just slow this down there, haven't they, Bristol City, because Chelsea will just take everything quickly, every throw-in, every corner, every free kick. They just want the ball in play for as long as possible. What can Bristol City do here?
Well, Chelsea have played this whole game at such a high tempo, high intensity. They really did come out guns blazing, and Bristol City have not been able to do much. We spoke about it earlier, them making an impact on the counter-attack, but they haven't taken their chances when they've done that. They've not been able to press Chelsea because Chelsea have moved the ball so quickly. I don't think there's too much that Bristol City could have done tonight. I think Chelsea have just been absolutely superb, and it's been almost
concern
unplayable.
Here for Chelsea as Millie Bright just slipped over as she tried to play what looked like a simple pass across the back line in the right-hand area of the centre circle as they come forward once again, and Wrighton's cross flashes across the face of goal. Macario couldn't get there, but Millie Bright is now hobbling, having just come back from injury, took a tumble and got up very gingerly and slowly to play the pass that she was trying to play initially. She's still on the field, but Emma Hayes might be looking just slightly concerningly at Millie Bright. She is now jogging across to mark her player as Bristol City take this goal kick. Emma Hayes is bringing on a substitute, and it looks like it's Maren Mjelde, and it looks as if this is the perfect timing to protect Millie Bright, because it would be a terrible thing if Millie Bright were to aggravate an injury, having just slipped and got up very gingerly indeed. Bristol City trying to play it forward through Harrison down their right-hand side, but again it comes to nothing, and Cuthbert wins it back. And Millie Bright does just look a little bit uncomfortable here. But now out to Ristin Cannerid right-hand side. Macario in the inside right channel, but her pass is intercepted. But she wins it back. Macario to the byline, right-hand side. Cross goes all the way across goal. Beaver Jones plays it onto the hand of Mary Ward, but nothing given by the referee. Chelsea clamouring for a handball there. Bristol City play on. Niamh Charles wins it back. And this is just so dominant from Chelsea. Niamh Charles is fouled by Testrup. Attacking free kick, and Harrison trying to slow it down. Is she going to be carded? No, referee's not going to go there yet. But Chelsea with another attacking free kick, 20 yards into the Bristol City half, and here comes the other departing legend. Maren Mjelde, best known, of course, for her penalty heroics in the 120th minute, the last minute of extra time, against Lyon in the Champions League to force a penalty shootout, which Chelsea went on to win, sending them through to a Champions League semi-final. An emotional post on social media for Maren Mjelde as she thanked the Chelsea fans, and in comes the free kick. Millie Bright has actually stayed on, so she's okay, it looks like. Here is Ritten Kaneryd off that free kick recycled, comes out to Macario again urged to shoot, back to Hamano as Bristol City try and close them down. Ritten Kaneryd's got the space right hand side, infield she goes to Mjelde, and they will have an attacking throw in Chelsea.
As Maren Mjelde came on, I just saw some of her international teammates stand up in the crowd. The likes of Maria Thorisdottir, who used to play for Chelsea, now plays for Man United, is here watching. Really nice send-off for
Eva
Maren
Jones
Mjelde.
to Kirby onto a left foot. Oh, what a save by Bentley. Oh, it was almost the fairy tale goal for Fran Kirby, but Fran Bentley did just enough to claw it out of her goal. And you were talking about Maria Thorisdottir. Thorisdottir is actually now at Brighton, not Manchester United. But yeah, lovely to see the Norwegian international teammates of Guro Reiten and Maren Mjelde in attendance at Kingsmeadow to watch their teammates say their goodbyes to the Chelsea fans for this season, and of course in a couple of cases for good. Here's Kirby once more on the edge of the penalty area, up to Hamano on her right foot, shoots, blocked by Amy Rogers, out for another Chelsea attacking throw halfway through the Bristol City half right hand side. 7-0 to Chelsea the score, 7 minutes plus stoppage time to go. Ritten Kaneryd takes the throw in to Cuthbert loses out to Hales, but Hales wins a throw in off Cuthbert. Yeah, it will be a Bristol City restart from the throw. Ella Powell comes across, and the time is ticking on, but there is still an opportunity for Chelsea, who have already eradicated the advantage that Man City held on goal difference, to actually go ahead of Man City on goal difference. Extraordinary turn of events, and I'm not sure anybody saw coming this weekend. Not many people saw Arsenal beating City, which they did by 2-1 earlier, and not many people would have seen this many goals going in at Kingsmeadow. Now Kirby finding Reiten left hand side. Reiten gets around Ward and plays it in. Oh, it's just in front of Kirby, and it's cleared away by Megan Connolly for Bristol City. Niamh Charles gathers and takes the throw in quickly. Back into Mjelde. And it's Charles on the left hand side. It's just relentless, Sam.
What a dominating display here by Chelsea. I think you can never write Chelsea off. This is exactly what they're capable of.
Here's Mjelde on the ball once more, in bright orange boots, white socks, and of course those royal blue shirts and shorts, as Mjelde loses out here to Carrie Jones, and Bristol City can go on the counter. 2 versus 2, up to Testrup. No, Cuthbert does brilliantly to win it back from Carrie Jones. What a workhorse Erin Cuthbert is. She always gives 100%, and she's drawn a foul here from, it looks like that was Abby Harrison. Cuthbert now down on the ground. It's just going to be checked. Chelsea teammates and Bristol City defenders just coming over to check she's okay. And we are now just passing 85 minutes, so 5 minutes plus stoppage time to play. Can Chelsea go above Manchester City in terms of goal difference, 3 points behind with a game in hand? Could this turn out to be the absolute perfect day for Emma Hayes on her farewell at Kingsmeadow? The end of an era. Emma Hayes, 12 years here at Chelsea. What an extraordinary legacy she is leaving behind as she moves on to the massive role of head coach of the US women's national team, who are of course back-to-back World Cup winners, but have recently struggled against the resurgence of the European sides. England amongst them, of course, the Netherlands, Spain, France and Germany, all now very, very strong in a way that they perhaps weren't a few years ago. Can Emma Hayes bring the United States back to glory as Chelsea come forward once again? They've got to win the league first. Here's Reiten crossing it in. Beaver Jones! Oh, what a great save, Bentley. Or a block from a Bristol City defender. but Beaver Jones couldn't score it. Up it goes again from Hamano. No one there for Chelsea. Ward loses out to Wrighton, but Wrighton can't keep it in, and it will be a goal kick to Bristol City. And it's getting frantic now for Chelsea as they look to just pile on the pressure, because as many goals as possible will give them as much of a cushion as possible in this title race.
Wow, well, Chelsea have been relentless. They've really put the pressure on this Bristol City defence. They've made it look easy. I think Chelsea is probably one of their best performances of the season. This performance has had everything from Chelsea, and you could see from the big start of the match they were a team on a mission. And I think that Arsenal result over Manchester City has really driven them to this performance.
And here are Chelsea coming forward once again. Kirby wins a header, but Ella Powell is there to deal with it for Bristol City. Goes back to Millie Bright under pressure from Hales. Millie Bright does really well to get her body in the way, and it's Hamano dealing with it, coming away with the ball for Chelsea. Hamano now back to Bright. Bright forward to Cuthbert in the centre circle. And back to Charles, and immediately up to Kirby. And Kirby approaching the penalty area, centre left position. Kirby still going, out to Wrighton, crosses it in for Beaver Jones. It had to be this time! And it's 8 goals for Chelsea. And that sees them go above Man City on goal difference. How crucial could that be in the WSL title race? Aggie Beaver Jones at the double this evening with her 14th goal of the season. What a rampant display. Spectacular from Chelsea. 8-0.
Well, the fans were just chanting, "We want 8," and they have their 8th goal of the game. Beaver Jones has been outstanding. She's put herself in the right positions. She's been excellent all game. She's been running at this Bristol City defence. And Chelsea, they've been absolutely ruthless in this match. They know how important goals were in this game, and they've certainly shown it. Goal number 8.
And there's now 2 minutes to go before the 90 ticks over. We're yet to see how many minutes will be added on, but Chelsea come again. Kirby and Macario exchanging passes, but Ella Powell gets her body in the way for Bristol City. And out comes Testrup with the ball. Finds Shania Hales. Hales turning away from Cuthbert, across to Carrie Jones, and Bristol City with a rare attack in this second half. Now coming into the Chelsea penalty area. Right it goes to Abby Harrison. Harrison is wide on the right hand side. Crossed in for Shania Hales, and it's just wide. And that might have been Bristol City's best chance of the whole match, coming on the 89th minute, Sam. Still 8-0 to Chelsea.
It really was, but Chelsea, like I just mentioned, they've been so ruthless. They've been clinical in front of goal. They've linked up their passes so well, and this hasn't been the starting lineup for many games this season, but you can see that this Chelsea side, no matter who they start, they're all so in sync. They know each other's movements so well, and Chelsea, running out of superlatives to describe them, they've been outstanding in this game, and the goals have been sensational.
They have been electrifying, Chelsea. They have played with such intensity from the first minute to the last. An unbelievable performance, and Bristol City have just wilted before them. And Beaver Jones is on the ball again, right hand side of the penalty area, up against Ella Powell. Shoulder bars from Powell, sees Aggie Jones just turn away from that pressure, and Ritten Cannerid can get the cross in now for Kirby. Cleared away off the line by Megan Connolly, high and up into the penalty area, and again Connolly can get rid of it. Was that Kirby's golden chance to get on the score sheet on a Kingsmeadow farewell? The time's running out. 90 minutes has just ticked over, and we are just about to see from the information board how many minutes will be added on here from the fourth official, as Bristol City deal with another Chelsea ball down the left hand side. Macario saves it from going out, back to Niamh Charles. Charles infield to Kirby. Kirby with her back to goal, coming away from the penalty area, and back to Millie Bright, still in the Bristol City half. And Bright with options right hand side, she goes to Ritten Cannerid, but Jamie Lee Napier's done well in defence there against Ritten Cannerid. And Jamie Lee Napier, credit to her, she hasn't stopped running for Bristol City in a losing effort with nothing to play for, having already been relegated. It's a tricky situation for the Robins coming to Kingsmeadow on this incredible occasion, the end of the Emma Hayes era here. But Jamie Lee Napier has continually put in the effort. Chelsea going to make one last substitution, and we are into stoppage time now as Aggie Beever-Jones is being brought off to be replaced by Ashley Lawrence, the 28-year-old Canadian defender. But Beever-Jones has certainly made her contribution tonight, Sam.
She really has. I think Beever-Jones, what a season she's had in this Chelsea side. She's been able to perform on the big stage. She's added so many goals to her name, assists. I think she's given absolutely everything, and you can see how much this club's mean to her from a young age. She's loved Chelsea, and you can see the passion shining through when she plays for Chelsea. I have to say, Ashley Lawrence coming on, she's done really well, especially against Barcelona when Chelsea beat them in the away leg. I think Ashley Lawrence really made it tough for the Barcelona attacking line, which is really difficult as Chelsea attack
Wrighton
now.
comes forward again, tries to cross it in for Ritten Canary, but there was an offside there. Euro Wrighton had strayed beyond the Bristol City backline. Bristol City did make one last change as well, bringing on January signing the Canadian Sarah Strategakis and taking off Carrie Jones. So attacking midfielder for Bristol City. 92 minutes on the clock. Chelsea 8, Bristol City 0. An extraordinary, electrifying 8 goals. 4 of them from Guro Wrighton, who surely will win player of the match for this game. She has been absolutely unbelievable. Pretty much everything she has touched has turned to gold as Bristol City chip it over the top, but easily dealt with by Zakira Musovic. And it will be Millie Bright taking it forward for Chelsea. Can they get one last goal to increase their now goal difference lead over Manchester City at the top of the WSL? City remain 3 points clear, but Chelsea have that game in hand to be played on Wednesday the 15th away at Tottenham. And if they win that game, they will go into the final day level on points with Man City and above them on goal difference, having scored 8 here this evening. And up it goes to Ritten Canary, and there's Megan Connolly there to clear up for Bristol City. Ritten Canary gets the loose ball though onto her right foot. Ritten Canary, great save, Fran Bentley. Oh, and it was so nearly 9 there for Johanna Ritten Canary, who's been a live wire since she came on. Corner to Chelsea, 8-0.
What a turnaround from Chelsea in terms of goal difference. Really remarkable, considering they were trailing behind, and to score 8 goals. Incredible.
Extraordinary that Manchester City, having won 14 in a row as the corner comes in from Macario over the head of Niamh Charles, and it's out to Hamano. But Manchester City won 14 in a row, including winning here at Kingsmeadow, to go top of the table as Macario plays it in once more. Chelsea just looking to add as many goals as possible. Fran Kirby, edge of the area, urged to shoot. Cuthbert now forward to Wrighton, who's on the right hand side now, and Macario will cross it into the far post. Millie Bright can't get it on target. The header just went off her head like a flick on and out for a Bristol City goal kick, and that just might be that. We're 4.5 minutes in to stoppage time here at Kingsmeadow. But you can't have asked for much more, really, can you? If you're Emma Hayes, this would have been as good as you could have hoped for. And with Arsenal beating Man City and opening the door for Chelsea to get back into this title race, it's been the perfect day for a Royal Blues fan.
It really has. I'd love to have seen Emma Hayes' pre-match team talk. I can imagine that was quite something to really get this team up for the game, and I'm sure she would have used the motivation from the Manchester City defeat that they had to Arsenal. Bristol City will just have a late chance here.
They're just coming forward trying to find Shania Hales, and it's now gone to the edge of the penalty area, and Strategakis shoots wide, and that will just about sum up Bristol City's night. They have not been clinical, they've not had a calm head in front of goal, despite having created several decent chances. They let several go begging in the first half. They've had a couple of decent ones in this second 45, but they just haven't been good enough. And it's almost as if it's written in the stars for Chelsea to get that huge win and that clean sheet. Almost 96 minutes gone as Chelsea still come forward. Millie Bright trying to find Macario with a high ball forward, and Cuthbert heads it forward, but Macario leaves it because she was offside. Wrighton crossing it in, and it's come off the crossbar and out towards Ritten Canary, and the Bristol City defender had to put it behind for yet another corner. And no, it came off Richard Cannerid. Mea culpa, excuse me. It will be a Bristol City goal kick rather than a Chelsea corner. So it was Cannerid there, not able to find the target. Still Chelsea lead by 8-0.
I have to say, Chelsea have been so switched on for the 90 minutes plus. They've been alert to everything, first to every ball. They've shown a huge amount of belief, and you can just see that Chelsea really have world-class players, and it's not just the way they're playing today, it's the mentality side that you can really see shining through.
And there is the full-time whistle, and Kingsmeadow rises to its feet in honour of an emphatic victory and the end of an extraordinary era. Emma Hayes bids farewell to the fans in West London with an absolute thrashing. By 8-0. Chelsea have run riot here at Kingsmeadow, and we'll now have the farewell ceremonies for Maren Mjelde, Fran Kirby and Emma Hayes. But Sam, your thoughts on this game, and I'd love to hear your prediction for who's going to win this title and whether it goes down to the wire, of course, with that game in hand at Spurs still to play.
I feel like I've shifted my mind quite a few times. Before the season started, I said it was going to be Chelsea's again, because Chelsea just didn't seem to lose in previous seasons. Then I thought Manchester City have had arguably the best season I've seen from them. But after today's performance, I think Chelsea could really do it. It's going to be such a tough ask, because last game of the season, Manchester United away. And we've seen what Manchester United can do. They did beat Chelsea in the FA Cup. But Chelsea, they seem to have really lifted their spirits, and they've got everything to play for now. But it really was an outstanding performance from Chelsea today. One of the best I've seen of them. Seen a really different side to Chelsea today that I've not quite seen this season, bar the game against Barcelona away. But Chelsea, absolutely fantastic. They gave everything. Just a complete performance from them today.
Commiserations must, of course, go to Bristol City, who, after being relegated last week, losing to Manchester City, came here with not much to play for and come away with nothing. Come away having been well and truly humbled by the behemoth of women's football that is Chelsea. So let's recap all of this weekend's results. Of course, midweek as well, Chelsea losing 4-3 away to Liverpool. And then on Saturday, it was Everton 2, Tottenham 2, and Brighton 0, Aston Villa 1. And earlier today, we've had Manchester City 1, Arsenal 2, that crucial result in the title race. Liverpool beating Manchester United 1-0, and West Ham and Leicester City playing out a 1-1 draw. Before a spectacular end to this penultimate round of games in the Women's Super League. Chelsea 8, Bristol City 0, the final score. And we haven't quite been able to find enough superlatives to talk about this team and to talk about this incredible manager. It truly is the end of an era here at Kingsmeadow as the fans are waving their blue and white flags. A standing ovation at full time after this amazing performance. Emma Hayes just giving her side a team talk in the centre circle as we await the farewell Thanksgiving ceremonies. But that's it from us at Kingsmeadow. Thank you so much to Sam Miller for joining us. This has been a PDI media production for BBC Radio 5 Sports Extra. I'm Angus Patterson. Thanks for joining us this evening. Have a lovely bank holiday and a good evening. And make sure you keep following the WSL, because that final weekend could be an absolute thrill to watch.